5-time race winner, 34 times on the podium, Ferrari golden child, and yet there is still a stain on Charles Leclerc's great career so far. Since 2017, he has had 6 chances to race at his home Grand Prix so far, and unfortunately, they have all ended in disaster. Every athlete in any sport dreams of winning in their home country, and for Formula 1, it's no different. This weekend, Charles Leclerc has the opportunity to become the first Monégasque driver to win in Monaco. After years and years of bad luck, is 2024 going to finally be the year that he has some success at his home track at the Monaco Grand Prix? Before we dive into the video, please consider helping me and my channel out by subscribing to the channel. I post Formula 1 videos every week, try to do a live stream after each race, so it would really help me out. It's free to do, and if you don't like the content, you can always unsubscribe later. Thank you, and let's get into the video. There are many different races we can talk about when it comes to Leclerc's shortcomings, but nothing beats the incredible run of bad luck he's had at Monaco. Growing up in Monte Carlo, Charles has previously talked about how he used to ride the bus exactly on the streets where the Grand Prix takes place, so you know how much the circuit means to him. I'm not going to go into much detail about karting races he's had in Monaco, but starting in 2017, when he was still in F2, every race he has had in Monaco has been a disaster. In 2017, he was racing for Prema Racing Team in F2, and during the Grand Prix in Monaco, although he qualified on pole position and looked like he was going to get his first victory at his home track, he had a suspension failure and ended up having to retire the car. This resulted in a weekend that could have been magical, going horribly wrong. The following year, in 2018, Leclerc jumped up to Formula 1 and was now driving for Sauber. Although Sauber was by no means a top team, this was still an exciting weekend for Charles as it was his first F1 weekend at his home Grand Prix. He qualified 14th and was having a pretty good race, having gained a couple positions before he mistimed an overtake and crashed into the side of Hartley, ending both of their races. In 2019, Leclerc was now with the main Ferrari team. He set a good original time in qualifying, but Ferrari decided to do one of their master plans and opted to save a set of tires, which saw other drivers improve their times while Leclerc could only sit on the sidelines and watch. He ended up qualifying in 15th position, which meant he would have a lot of work to do during the race at a track we know isn't ideal for overtaking. He started off strong, getting up into P12 quickly, but on lap 8, he tried to overtake Nico Hülkenberg and made contact with the wall, which caused a puncture and eventually floor damage, which the team deemed too much to be able to continue. This was Leclerc's 3rd consecutive DNF at his home Grand Prix in Monaco. Surely 3 consecutive DNFs are as bad as it can get, right? Unfortunately, it can get even worse. In 2021, with experience gained from his 3 previous Grand Prix in Monaco, Leclerc had put his Ferrari on provisional pole in Q3. However, being a racing driver that is always looking to better himself and gain every second available, he opted to do another push lap. Towards the end of the lap, he miscalculated turns 15 and 16 and crashed his Ferrari, bringing out a red flag and ending the session. He remained on pole position for the race, despite bottling it into the wall. On Sunday, during the reconnaissance lap, Ferrari discovered that Leclerc's car had a left drive shaft failure. There was not enough time to repair the damage, and Leclerc, although sitting on pole position, was unable to start the race. This was absolutely devastating for Charles, as this would have been his best chance so far to win in Monaco. In 2022, Leclerc once again was on pole position, this time with teammate Carlos Sainz alongside him on the front row, which should have been a slam dunk for Ferrari and Charles if they played their hand right. Unfortunately, being Ferrari, they managed to mess up the strategy somehow, and Leclerc dropped down all the way into 4th. Another heartbreaking result, but at least he managed to finish the race. In 2023, Leclerc would have qualified in 3rd position, but received a 3-place grid penalty and ended up starting the race in 6th place, where he eventually ended up finishing as well. So overall, out of 6 attempts, Charles has managed to finish the race just 2 times, with his highest overall finishing position being a P4. Now, we know a simple podium position wouldn't satisfy Charles, but is winning the Monaco Grand Prix even possible for him right now? Ferrari have opted to prioritize race pace over their qualifying pace in the last couple years. This doesn't mean that they are no longer battling for pole, but they don't seem to be repeating the exact same Leclerc pole, Verstappen win formula, which we all know too well. Carlos Sainz has come out and said that he doesn't think their car is optimized for the circuit in Monaco. And given that overtaking is notoriously difficult there, I don't think Leclerc's road to a victory will be an easy one. And as we've seen before, even if he does get pole position, there's no guarantee that Ferrari can help him convert that into a victory. On raw pace alone, Leclerc is arguably one of the fastest drivers on the grid, And seeing as Verstappen may be 0.01% less focused or less dominant than in previous years, there is definitely a chance. For Ferrari and Charles, they need to focus on getting as high a position as possible in qualifying and then utilizing their strategy to do whatever is necessary to obtain that win on Sunday. The last Leclerc win was back in 2022, and nothing would give him a confidence boost and say I'm back than a win at the legendary Monaco Grand Prix. In all honesty, it's hard to say for certain that Leclerc will win. At Monaco, a lot depends on your qualifying position, so it's going to be very important for him to have a great qualifying session on Saturday. I may be a little too optimistic and a little bit too hopeful, but I would love to see Charles Leclerc on the top step of the podium at his home Grand Prix in Monaco come Sunday. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below whether you think Charles Leclerc can win this Grand Prix. Make sure to share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again and see you guys next time. Bye.